Hello, welcome in everybody. We are just getting started in just a minute. This is the very first episode of Strategy, Tech, and Q&A here on CMR Create. And I'm excited to kick off this live before we officially start the episode. Go ahead and start dropping your questions into the chat. This will be built around real creator questions, so I want to know what is holding you back as a creator. It can be about YouTube, live streaming, streaming software, OBS, audio, editing, thumbnails, titles, cameras, microphones, gear, workflow, confidence, consistency, or just knowing where to start. Drop those questions into the chat right now because we may use some of them during the Q&A portions of today's show, and that can help us shape future episodes. We're also going to take questions on the podcast at sierra@cmrcreate.com. That's going to be the official email of the channel. And we're going to kind of get things underway right here. If anybody is in the chat, be sure to give me a thumbs up or hello or all the good stuff on the audio and video quality. I am seeing a few like weird blips on the back end over here, so I'm hoping that's not going to be an issue for us. But we're gonna get things going on. So right now I don't see anyone in the chat. I have 3 people watching, so welcome in, guys. Welcome in. So before we stop the clean episode, drop your creator questions in the chat. The main questions: what is holding you back right now? Is it strategy, tech, video, editing, live streaming, software, titles, gear, workflow, confidence, consistency? Drop it into the chat now. Thank you guys so much. We have All Aboard with Blake and Melody Time in the chat. Thank you very much. So all right, I'm gonna get the clean episode start here now. Keep dropping your questions in the chat. And once I say clean episode start, I'm gonna hit record, and this is where we're gonna begin the episode. So All Aboard with Blake says, I love to make better thumbnails. So yeah, let's work that in today. Go ahead and start recording. Welcome to the very first episode of Strategy Tech Q&A here on CMR Create. This show was built for creators and who want to improve their content, understand their tech, get real answers to the problems that is holding them back. What is blocking you from moving to the next level, starting, or just improving some processes that you have here around? So because content creation seems so simple, you can actually start doing it. You think you're going to record a video, go live, start a podcast, or post consistently. You think you're going to record a video, go live, start a podcast, or post consistently. Then suddenly you're dealing with cameras, microphones, editing software, lighting, OBS, thumbnails, titles, live stream settings, analytics, and you try to figure out why your content is not getting the results you would hope for. That is where content creators get stuck. Not because they don't have a good idea, not because they're not talented, not even because they don't care. A lot of creators get stuck because there are too many moving pieces. They do not know what to fix first and what is actually holding them back. So Strategy Tech Q&A is a creator support show here on CMR Create. Stands for content, media, and recording, and is the foundation of the channel. Media is how we're going to get content to look and sound. That includes video quality, audio, graphics, thumbnails, editing, branding, and presentation. Recording is the production side, cameras, microphones, live stream setups, OBS podcasts, workflows, phone recording, lighting, and the tools that help us bring our content to life. But strategy, tech, and Q&A is just not about gear. The show is about connection, trust, and real problem solving. The goal here is to take questions from creators and help people figure out their next practical steps. So every episode should come back to one simple problem. What is holding creators back and how can we help solve it? That is the heart of the show. So all right, let's switch back to the live stream here and um we have nobody to welcome in. So just taking a break here for the live episode here and trying to get us in a place to where we're getting ready for the next break here. All right, so quick reset for everybody joining us. Welcome in. This is the very first episode of Strategy Tech Q&A. Make sure you're dropping your thumbnails into the title. I mean your questions into the chat. And we're gonna keep going here and going here and going here. So let's go back to the episode here. So I wanted to create strategy, tech, and Q&A because there's a lot of creator advice online, but not all of it is helpful. Some advice is too generic and some of it's too advanced. Some advice makes you feel like you need to buy more gear before you even get started. And some advice just skips over real world problems creators deal with day in, day out. A creator might not see a new camera, they might need better lighting. A creator might not need a new camera, they might need better lighting. Sorry, this is the very first episode. A creator might not need a new camera, they might need new lighting. A creator might not need new microphones, they need a mic. They need better mic placement. Let's start this one over. So I wanted to create, so I'll just start this one over. I wanted to create strategy, tech, and Q&A because there's a lot of creator advice online, but not all of it is helpful. Some advice is too generic, some of it is too advanced. Some just makes you feel like you need to buy more gear before you even get started. And some advice skips over real world problems creators are actually dealing with right now. A creator might not need a new camera, they just may need new lighting. A creator may not need a new microphone, just better mic placement. And a creator might not need to post more, they might need better topics, better hooks, and clearer workflow. A creator may not need more motivation, they need someone who is to help figure out what is actually holding them back. And that's what this show is for. I am someone who loves to solve problems, and I'm here to help you solve yours as I have solved mine up until this point. Now, I am not a big, established 200,000 subscriber creator. I am someone who's made it past the first initial level of YouTube, and it is time for me to give back and help you guys get to where you want to be. So my background sits in a few different areas. That's why this show makes sense for me. I'm a creator. I do live streams. I make videos. I work with podcast style content. I understand the technical side and I have a background in web development. So I look at content creation from multiple angles. There is the creative side, the story, the audience, the title, the thumbnail, the hook, the energy, and the reason why someone should care. Then there's the technical side: the camera, the mic, the software, the settings, overlays, audio levels, files, workflows, and all the things that can help you with your content and make the process frustrating. I have dealt with the same kind of problems a lot of creators deal with: audio not sounding right, a stream setup getting too complicated, editing taking too long, trying to make thumbnails better, trying to understand why creators are leaving, trying to figure out what gear actually matters, and trying to consistently stay while improving. So this show is not only coming from theory only, it is coming from the actual real world struggles that I faced as well. I'm not here to act like I've never struggled with things. I'm here because I feel like I understand it. All right, let's step out of the episode just for a second. Um, awesome. Just looking into our cast here. It's gonna take me a little while to get this the way I like it. But we're gonna step in and out of the episode as we continue here. I want to thank everybody for being here today. And it's not a ton of us, but we all have to start somewhere. So this is great. This is great. Thank you for your support on getting this started. Um, I am still taking questions for anyone who wants to ask a question that you may be facing on your channel. So, and if you were okay, we're gonna go back to the episode now. So the show is called CMR. The show is called Tech Strategy and Q&A because of the three main pillars. The first pillar is strategy. Strategy about making content with a purpose. This includes YouTube growth, titles, thumbnails, retention, watch time, audience building, content planning, and figuring out why someone should click and why someone should stay. A lot of creators create content and they don't actually have a clear strategy behind it. So they record their footage, they download it, they edit it into the good stuff, and they mostly just put their best clips together. They may do a voiceover or whatever the case is. There's not really a big plan. So they just upload, look at YouTube analytics, and hope that something's going to pop off. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. But hope is not strategy. Hope is definitely not strategy. Strategy helps you understand the content. Strategy helps you understand who the content is for, why it matters, and why the viewer should get it from. The second pillar is tech. This includes camera, microphones, software, live streaming, editing, phone recording, podcast setups, overlays, automation, and other content creator tools. But here is the important part: tech should support your creativity and it should not become the thing that stops you from creating. You do not need every tool, you need the right tool for the right workflow. A setup that works, a simple setup that works better is better than a simple setup that works is better than a complicated setup. Because a complicated setup, and I go through this daily, is something that's going to break and preventing your video to come out. So you may not have the most amazing transitions, you may not have the most cutting edge camera, but the most simple setup is going to help you be consistent. And consistency is the key in a lot of this work. So this is where real creators can bring real world problems and we can talk about them. Maybe something is starting from a live streaming phone, maybe cannot get their gear audio to sound right. Maybe someone is just overwhelmed by software. Maybe someone has been posting videos, but not knowing why people are not clicking. Those are the kind of questions I want to answer in the show. So, questions are not side content, they are part of the show. So, feel free to ask your questions in here. Be sure to email me at Sierra@CMRCreate, and I will happily answer your questions live on the show. So, strategy is our other part, and strategy gives us content direction. Tech helps bring the content to life. Q&A is going to help us solve our real problems we are facing. So before moving on, um, I'm starting and stopping, probably not doing the best here. Um, I think that I probably definitely need to revisit this a little bit. But we're doing this. We're doing this. So who this show is for? This show is for beginner creators, but it's not only for beginners. It is for a creator who already started but feels stuck. It is for a YouTuber trying to improve their videos. It is for a live streamer trying to make their setup more reliable. It is for a live streamer trying to make their setup more reliable. It is for a podcaster trying to get better sound. It is for the phone creator trying to make better content with what they already have. It is for the person who keeps buying gear but still feels like their workflow is messy. It is for the person who has an idea but struggles to turn their ideas into finished content. And it is for the creator who can get better and better, but they need a clearer path. You do not need to have everything figured out to belong here. The whole point is this show is to meet creators where they are and help them take it to the next level. So, what's holding creators back? The one thing we are going to talk about a lot on Strategy Tech Q&A is what holds creators back. Because sometimes the thing that is the problem is not the real problem. A creator might say, I need a camera, but the real issue is lighting. A creator may say, my videos are not growing, but the real issue is topic, the hook, title, packaging. But maybe the real issue is the room, the gain, the mic placement, or the audio processing. A creator might not say, I'm consistent. A creator might say, I'm not consistent, but maybe the real issue is not their workflow. The real issue is their workflow is too complicated. That is why Q&A matters so much, why someone asks real questions, and we can look past the surface and ask what is actually going on here. What is the real problem? What is the next practical step? Not buying everything, not copying everyone else's setup, but figuring out what is actually holding you back and what is the next problem that you need to solve. The goal here is not to fix everything at once. The goal is to find the next thing and let's fix it, and let's fix it together. All right, so here's another live stream pause here. There's anybody out there that would like to continue to ask questions, go right ahead. We are taking questions at Sierra@cmrcreate.com. Also taking questions right here in the chat. So I have one question coming from email here. Do I need expensive gear, or what kind of gear do I need to start creating? So the answer is no. I say that you need an iPhone, probably a small light, or start filming, buy a window. Um, Make some videos, practice every day. Try to figure out ways to shorten your problem into something that's very energetic, and just kind of start recording and be ready to upload consistently. So, what I found out as a live streamer, I'm getting the best performance on my channel when I'm creating content at the same time. So, if I'm live streaming every week in the morning, continue to live stream every week in the morning. And the reality of that is, YouTube doesn't even really care what time you go live or what time you upload. But a lot of times, there's a lot of people out there who are kind of conditioned to your upload consistency and your schedule. So when you kind of go live or upload at the same time, people know when to find your videos. And when people, when you upload the new videos, people are like ready to watch them. So when you upload at different times of the week, of course it works, will always work. Um, but a good way to condition your audience to kind of like get a good start is to try to like, time slot matters, but not the way you think. YouTube's not grading you on time slot. YouTube is grading you on video performance. So just get a phone. If you don't have a microphone, that's fine. Just kind of stay close to your phone. Sit beside a window. Use a small light. And pre-plan your video. I would say build the title and the thumbnail before you even start recording or start scripting. Plan out your videos and give it a try. Um, and most definitely your first 20 videos are going to they're going to be more practice videos. You're not going to start building up some crazy audience in your first 20 videos, but you might. But regardless, your first 20 videos are just going to be kind of like repetitions, muscle memory, getting the process underway. Um, and then as you go through your creator journey, you will figure out what gear that you need. You'll figure out what your problem is, and then you can buy the gear based on the problem you're trying to solve. Because you don't need one of these fancy studios, you don't need anything too crazy. You can keep things simple, and then to level up your game, you'll definitely have a good advice. See what's going on here. So another creator question that comes up a lot is, why do I feel stuck even though I have content ideas? Um, I always often see a lot of creators saying, I'd like to do this, but this is stopping me, or I'm kind of in a place to where I'm doing everything I know to do, and I'm just not really seeing any progress. Um, but you really have to think about like what the actual problem is and what you're trying to solve. Um, in the chat, I saw where somebody said they needed help with thumbnails. Um, and I think doing a little research in the videos you're trying to create, doing a little research in the audience you're trying to gather. There are some awesome websites like 1 of 10. There are some awesome websites like vidIQ that will help you find your community, find your audience style. So initially, you just need to figure out what problem you're trying to create. I mean, you want to figure out what problem you're trying to solve. Do I need more people to click Or why is YouTube not showing my video to more people? Um, the truth is, YouTube doesn't show your video to anyone. They have to go find your video and click on it. But YouTube is a great engine for us to get our video in front of the right people. So basically, how that works is YouTube gives us an impression. YouTube connects us with someone looking for the kind of content that we make, and will show your title and your thumbnail to somebody, and it's up to them to decide if that's the video that they want to watch. So YouTube's not necessarily like forcing people to watch things and guarantee that they'll watch it. YouTube is giving your video an opportunity to be clicked on based on what the viewer's looking for. So if you've ever scrolled on the YouTube homepage or did a search in YouTube, um, you'll see those videos popping up. And next time you do that, pay attention to what video you clicked on and think about why you did that. And all of that would be a good reason to solve the issue. It's, why am I not growing on YouTube? Or why aren't people watching my videos? Because you can have the best video in the world, you can have the worst video in the world. But it's not going to matter the quality of the video if you're not making the right content for the right audience. That is one really, really good question for, people being stuck uploading their videos on YouTube and not really getting everything they want. But there's many things. There is many things out there. So we're going to go to question number 3. Question number 3. Let me think about this just for a second. Question number 3. I am often posting videos and I'm not sure if the audio or the video is good or what format to publish in. I feel like I'm not making videos with high enough quality and people are clicking on them and swiping away instantly. I would say that audio is way more important than video, but video is still important. I personally record at 4K, but you may not have a device that records in 4K, so I'd recommend recording in 1080, 1920 by 1080. And if you don't have a microphone, you probably need to be close to your camera. If you do have a microphone, I would definitely test to see where the best placement is. Do you want the people to hear the background, or do you want it to be silent? Do you want them to hear your voice and no distractions? I would say, for my live streams, I definitely want them to hear the background. So I optimize my audio for the background. But here in the studio, I optimize my audio just so you can hear me. So video is definitely better than audio. You definitely want, audio. So audio is definitely more important than video. It is natural for people to click away from your video in the first 30 seconds. The goal here is not to get nobody to click away, but the goal here is to get less people to click away. So in the first 30 seconds of your content, it is so important. Don't start with my name is such and such. Don't start we're live here or we're here at such and such place. Hook them in, tell them what they need to know, state the problem, relate to them, saying, have you ever, start with a question. Get into the problem and relate to the struggle. And the first 30 seconds is what I call the hook. He really wants to send it straight. But one mistake that I made recently on a video is I showed the video in the hook. I showed too many clips of the video, give them all the answers of the video to where they didn't even need a reason to stay. They saw everything I was talking about in the clips. I didn't build any kind of suspense for them. So, I got a low watch average. People came in, watched for a minute, and left because they got all the information they needed. I did such a great job at making the video. I didn't really give them a reason to stick around longer. And the reason I gave them wasn't strong enough because in this day and time, you don't have to stay and watch a 20-minute video to figure out what time or how much something costs. So for today's episode 1, that's about all the Q&A that I'm going to do. And it's not random advice. It's real creator questions. These are all things that I've tested and I've either failed or succeeded with them. As the show grows, I want more questions to come directly from you. And be sure to give me your questions, CIERRA at CMRcreate.com. I'll be happy to answer any of the questions that you're having. And let's make content together. So to bring this final episode back to the main point, strategy, tech, and Q&A, here is to help creators move forward. This is a creator support show on CMR Create, build around content strategy, tech, and real questions from creators. The goal is not to overwhelm people with more information. The goal is to connect with creators, build trust, and answer the questions that help people solve what is holding them back. Because every creator has something new they're working through. For another person, it might be audio. For another person, it might be live streaming. For another person, it might be just not knowing where to start. For another person, it might be trying to figure out YouTube. This show is here to help with all of that. This show is so important for you to ask questions. The questions are not extra, the questions are welcome, and they are part of the framework. So thank you guys for being here to the very first episode of Strategy Tech Q&A on CMR Create. This is just the beginning, and I'm excited to build this show around real creator content, conversations, questions, and real solutions. If you are watching on YouTube, drop a comment with your biggest creator question right now. What is holding you back? Is it tech, audio, video, editing, live streaming, gear, confidence, or consistency? Send your questions to CMR. Send your questions to Sierra at cmrcreate.com, and that will face the future of this show and the episode. This is strategy, tech, and Q&A. Real creator problems, real practical solutions. I'll see you in the next episode. Pause. All right, guys, we're still here. Welcome in nature. Thank you so much. And I really love your statement here. So we're doing live recording, I like to say with a live studio audience. So I'm going to go through and make the edit and cut out the good parts. And then we're going to start uploading this to where you get your podcasts. But all aboard with Blake, a great friend and my creator journey, and Nature GR7I. Definitely appreciate you joining us. If you are new, subscribe, please. And don't forget to hit the like button. It's going to help get this out to more people. I will keep this episode live on the channel, but we're going to have a more edited, refined version coming out in the next couple days. And then I still don't have everything figured out. I'm just someone with a lot of passion that wants to help you create better content. So let me know in the chat what is holding you back. Best brand lines, real creator problems, practical solutions. Your questions are not side content, they are part of the show. So I just want to thank you guys so very much, and we'll see you in the next episode.